Hey everybody, it's Matt with ManIntentional. So my feedback here is a little slow, trying to make sure everything's good to go. All right, let me just keep working with this here. Always fun with new technology. Playing with some new technology here. Really, kind of enjoying this stuff, but it's just different. So, all right. Looks like, hey, we're here. So, what's going on, guys? It's Matt with ManIntentional. On this channel, we help men make intentional decisions to live intentional lives. We work with men to make intentional decisions to live intentional lives. We're about making intentional decisions to live an intentional life. What does that always mean? That's a great question. I get asked that. You know, what specifically am I? What am I saying by making intentional decisions? It's really about making a decision in life to do something. I know that's kind of weird. It's like, really, Matt? So like putting my shoes on is an intentional decision? But yeah, in a sense it is. It's a minor intentional decision because, you know, you have flip-flops there, you have shoes. You're mowing the lawn, maybe you should put your shoes on over flip-flops because you might cut a toe off. But if you're the guy that cut his fingers off trying to use it to mow his hedges and you sued the lawnmower company, well, maybe that was an intentionally stupid move. I don't know. But really what I'm talking about is real intentional, big intention decisions. You know, do I go out with the guys tonight or do I hang out with my wife who I haven't done much with tonight? Those are intentional decisions that have bigger consequences than do I wear my Nikes or do I wear my Adidas? You know, that's not really such an intentional decision unless you're sponsored by one of them and you're going to get busted for not wearing the right ones. That's different. But you know, it's, do I play with this or do I hang out with my kids? You know, it takes an intentional decision to give up the dopamine hit that you get from this. It takes an intentional decision to say no to the porn, point blank. You know, it doesn't take, you know, it's an intentional decision to say no to the porn, not because I'm going to go hang out with my wife. It's just a no. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Still getting over the cold. An intentional decision is to say, I'm going to take a couple minutes and I'm going to read my Bible, or I'm going to read this book. I'm going to watch this video for 15 minutes just to get pumped up about something. Maybe I'm going to the gym. The gym, that's an intentional decision. Passive decisions happen all the time, and they're okay. You know, what you eat or whether or not you turn right or left. You know, if you always turn right and you turn right, that's passive. It's something that happens. Our brain needs to be able to do those things. But we need to be able to make intentional decisions as men. And then that's the next question, is men. And really where I'm going with today is there's a number of questions, a number of things I've seen lately that have kind of irked me when it comes to this whole sex thing, men, women. But there's questions that I keep seeing out there about what is a man, who is a man, who qualifies as a man. And of course, there's a lot of derogatory remarks being thrown out at men. And it's a shame because the reality is, and I know it's a shocker, drum roll, there are men and women in the world. I know, it's a shocker. There are dudes with junk and girls with junk receivers in the world. It's just the way it goes. It's the way it was planned. It's the way it was designed. I don't know any animals. I don't know any dogs running around going, I'm not a dude anymore. I'm a girl. I'm going to go fix that. Do you know any animals other than stupid humans that run around trying to change the sex of who they are? And then complaining about it or saying, hey, I was once this and now I'm this and I should be treated this way? But you're not. Genetically, you're just not. I don't care how much drugs you take to try and change your genetics. You can't. So, what is a man? Physically speaking, a man is a guy that's got a twig and berries. Let's just put it out there. That's a man. I don't care what you do with all that stuff. That's a man. So you're born with, you're a man. You're a guy. You're a dude. That's how it is. You're a female if you got the other part, the receiver. It's just the way it is. You know, whatever you want to do down there too, you're still a female. And it's okay. And it's okay for men to be different. And it's okay for women to be different. We want so much of the world to be sameality. We want everybody to be equal. But here's equality, okay? You want equality. Let's take the last election. And we'll take some of these nice new congressmen, congress ladies, whatever you want to say, that have joined. And they want equality. So why are they not sharing the office with the other people that ran against them? Because they all should have it equally. Right? Anybody that wants to be a specific thing should have it equally. So if I decide I want to be president of the United States, I should be able to do that just because I want to, because that's equality. Equality doesn't work. Men need to be men. Women need to be women. And we talk more about men here. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about being intentional men. That means to stop whining about being a man. That means stepping up when you need to. And let's be honest, sometimes it's hard to. Like, I'm dealing with this, and so the lawn needed to be mowed, and my loving, incredible wife got the mower out. I have a push mower because we have a really small lawn, and I had a gas mower, but I'm like, why am I putting gas in the air? And, you know, it always makes it hard to breathe anyway when I do that. Plus, my son has a little bit of asthma, and it just all bothers. So anyway, I had a push mower because we have a little thing. So she's like, I'm going to mow the lawn because, you know, I don't have to start it, do anything. I just push it. It's a little bit more than just pushing it. You got to hold it at the right angle and get it going. And so she had a little bit of struggle with it. I showed her a little bit. But here's my wife stepping up and saying, I know in our relationship as the dude, you mow the lawn. You kind of take care of yard stuff. And right now, you physically, it's hard for you to do it because it does bother your breathing. Case in point. And so she started working on doing it. Now, I'm going to go back and do a little bit more cleanup just because I'm stronger than her. I have more strength than her, and I'm able to push it in certain areas where she was having some struggles. But that's her stepping up. That's her making an intentional decision. And as a man, I make intentional decisions to do things for her or for our house. But the truth and the reality is, men are typically stronger physically. We were designed that way to do certain things. Women were designed to do specific things themselves. And that's okay. It's good. It's good to have that balance. And I'm tired of seeing all this stuff in the media, because this is what the media plays out, is this wannabe for equality, which is impossible. It's absolutely impossible to have equality. It's never going to happen. And the sad and stupid thing is the people that are really trying to take over the power are the ones that are forcing this down our throats, the idea of equality. It's not going to happen, and it's okay. It's a good thing. Biblically speaking, it's not designed to be that way. Equality is designed for me to serve my wife and for my wife to serve me. That's biblical equality. I need to take this that has been given to me by God and use it to help bring her up. Not to put her on a pedestal, not to make her above me, but to still present her and bring her up so that I make her blameless before God, which means I have to work to do that for her. And at the same time, she turns around and does that for me. She says, hey, I'm going to bring you up as my husband. I'm going to take my femininity and I'm going to use that against your masculinity and make you better. I take my masculinity against her femininity and I make her better. That's equality. It's not, oh, you're a woman and I'm a guy and we can do everything the same, because the truth is you can't. And men, we need to step up, especially the men of the church who have been beaten for many, many years. And we need to step up and we need to be men again. We need to step into the roles that are supposed to be manly roles. We need to step up and take care of our families in the proper way. This TV, all that stuff, there's time and place, but in reality, it's got to go. We need to really be there, be open for our families. We need to be the coaches for the Little League. We need to be the coaches for soccer. We need to be there for our daughters at dance class. We need to be there for our wives when they want to go out with the girlfriends and we take care of the kids. So I've been struggling with this whole thing about being something greater. And I just have this innate thing inside me right now that just has been there for many, many years that says I'm supposed to do so much more with my life than maybe I have, or maybe the trajectory that it's on right now. It's my feelings. It's where I'm at. It's what's in my heart, is this idea of being more. And, you know, I know some guys that don't have that. I know some guys that have it. And I know some guys that think it. Difference. You know, they think that's what you're supposed to do as a guy. There's nothing specific that says everybody has to be Braveheart. Not that I think I'm going to be Braveheart, but just I have this innate push inside of me to build something greater than me, or to help people and do something in that regard. And that's part of what ManIntentional is about. That's part of why I'm doing this. Is I'm hoping that through the course of this that someone will be helped. Whether it's me getting the opportunity to mentor someone, or maybe it's just my son watching this, my sons watching this and gaining something out of it. You know, maybe it's my daughter seeing it and going, that's what a man is, and that's what I want to find and marry. And there's a question for you. Okay, you've got kids, you've got a daughter, if you have daughters, even if you have a son, okay, what does a man look like that you would want your daughter to marry? What's the man you want your son to be for someone else to marry? Emulate that. Be that. Be that man, so that they can learn by watching you, because that's really how we learn. That's really how kids understand. If you're on this all the time, or you're belittling your wife, or you're talking bad about life in general, it's always complain, 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 complain. The world sucks, which is the news. And that's what your kids are going to be. Bottom line. Funny thing over in Europe, I think I should get some people together and we should do this. Anybody wants to do this? Here's an idea. Let me know. Maybe we can make it work. There's a lady who is producing a happy paper. It's called the Happy Paper. It goes out, I guess, quarterly right now. But it's a newspaper, like full-blown newspaper. And every story is a happy story. They're good stories. There's good things going on in the world. There's nothing negative in it. And it's got a lot of subscribers. It's surprisingly enough. Really sad that our world and our media spends so much time on negativity. And we wonder why we're so negative and why we're so hateful and why we have so many issues. It's because we don't love, we don't care, we don't reach out. We'd rather hate on someone for their differences than to love them for their differences or find ways to work together because of their differences. We want equality. We want everything to be equal. Everything has to be fair, when it can't be. It just can't be. It's not possible. The lion is stronger than the deer. The lion is going to win. So do we kill all the lions because they're stronger than the deers? Antelopes, fine, we'll get politically correct on there. Do we kill all the lions because, oh, they're stronger and they're going to eat them, and so that's not equal? That's not fair? Come on. So in the news today, interesting thing, there were apparently 2 cards that were put out. They were Hallmark style. I don't think Hallmark put them out, so I'm not calling them out. But it was, 2 cards that were set next to each other. in the card aisle, and of course, huge uproar in the news. Okay, one card said, "You're the kind of girl I'd buy flowers for." The other card said, "You're the kind of guy I'd make a sandwich for." And of course, that's sexist. I still haven't figured out why it's sexist, because you know what? My wife is definitely the kind of girl I'd buy flowers for. I'd buy her a sandwich, make her a sandwich or anything like that if she wanted to, but flowers speak more of love. Uh-oh, love. That's kind of biblical. Women want love. So weird. So weird. And then the idea of a woman making a sandwich for a man, well, that's an action of love, but it's a respect thing, which, that's biblical again, respect. So weird. So these are two good things. I love it when my wife makes me a sandwich. It really shows love. She took the time to do that for me. My wife loves it when I occasionally bring home flowers. She doesn't want me to do it all the time. We've talked about it. She's like, don't spend the money on all of that stuff, but occasionally, hey, bring some flowers home. I like them. And I don't expect her to make me a sandwich every day either. So people were crying that that's 1950s and all that other stuff, but hey, the 50s weren't so bad in some regards, in regards to relationships. There were some bad things, but there's always been bad things. But let's be honest, families stuck together a little bit more. Nowadays, the family unit is pretty much dead. It's toast. It's gone. It's hard to find. But, society's doing really great, isn't it? I mean, there's no issues in society right now. Families are toast. Kids are just doing whatever they want. Everybody gets a trophy, equality. We go on and on and on with all these things that we've implemented, and look at the world, people. It's kind of in the dumps. Let's go back to some of those things that actually make it great. And I'll tell you this. Here's my belief into what has destroyed our families and our world. Two things. The automobile and the TV. What? The automobile and the TV. Why do I say that? The automobile is destructive because it gave us the ability to have distance from family. No longer did families live on a street together or in a small community together. They moved. And now my mom lives in Missouri. Okay, Missouri. Her family's from Virginia. Her sister lives in Florida. My brother lives in Nevada. My dad, well, he lives locally, so that's cool. But, like my son, I rarely see him, my oldest son, but he's got wheels. He don't need me. And then the TV. TV has progressed to this, and basically we will come home and plop in front of the TV or get on our phones or our computers, and we neglect the family unit. And because we've destroyed the family unit, we've destroyed that connection and that relationship, we see what we have now in the world. So where does this come in for men being intentional? We need to make the intentional decision to not allow these things to affect our families, to affect our relationships. You can be single and do this and have relationships with other human beings, but that's intentional. Be intentional in how we manage ourselves, how we manage our online life. Do we spend a lot of time on Facebook? What are we looking at on Facebook? Instagram, what are we looking at on Instagram? What are we looking at online? And, every guy struggles with this. I don't care who you are. I struggle with it. I'll get that, I'll be on Instagram or something, and inevitably there's that, you're looking through, you're swiping, and you're just checking out people's things, and all of a sudden there's that one image of that girl, or it's some other thing that someone put in there that has to do with your search because they're trying to get you. The enemy's trying to get you to look at something. It happens on Facebook. Right now I'm tired of Facebook because all it is ads. And it's ads for marketing stuff because I research a lot of marketing things. And off topic here, surprisingly enough, I'm doing a book about marketing and about how marketing in its sense, the way we do things, is pretty much dead. And marketing has come around to being relational. We've gotten so unrelational that we need marketing to be relational for us to grasp and be a part of it. And it's sad, some of the statistics that are coming out with the number of people and men that just don't understand relationships, how to do relationships anymore. And as men, we've gotten to this attitude that we don't need a relationship. We don't need other men. We don't need others in our life, and that's just total BS. Men need other men. Iron sharpens iron. Men need to rub each other's backs as far as, I'm not talking like that. I'm just talking, from a manly perspective. You need to slap a butt now and then and say, dude, you're good. Let's do it. And we need those things. We need to spend more time making sure the others in our tribe are healthy and safe. And we just don't do it. Bottom line, we don't do it. So getting back to the idea of what to do in life, I want to just kind of bring this up as I'm going to close this out. I picked a couple of things specifically to speak about today, and in all honesty, I just kind of got away from them. I just wanted to have a conversation. Really kind of wanted to get into the aspect of me and where I am in this regards to trying to figure out this bigger thing that I should do. I am struggling with it, struggling with the idea of what is the calling in life as for me as a man. Where do I go? What is it? I don't want to chase after monies, but you need monies to do things. You need monies to pay bills. I want to create something that is helpful. And hopefully that's what this is. Sometimes it's very tiring because I've done so many little things over the years that I get tired. I get into something and it gets a little tiring because it's just me. And again, I understand as a man, I need other men that see vision with me to do something. But so many men aren't men. So many men aren't intentional. So many men are so worried about, their next Facebook thing or Instagram thing, or, society's pushing us to, go out and be an influencer and have that great big hit. And so everybody and their mom's doing it. And the reality is, that if we're all doing it, then who's watching? Who's part of it? Who's helping each other? I don't know. Maybe I'm just off there, but I found this to be very interesting. Mark, we've been going through the book of Mark at church, and I keep coming back to this because this is, to me, it's profound. So in Mark, Jesus goes to get baptized, and so Jesus is 30, going to get baptized. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. And up to this point, we really don't have much information about Jesus in the Bible. We know as a young man the temple story where he hung out there for a couple of days and was teaching. But that, at the time, he didn't have the Holy Spirit. He didn't have the Holy Ghost. Now, he was God, but he didn't have that aspect of God with him. I don't know. It all gets a little funky. And let's just be honest. We'll figure that stuff out when we get to heaven. But outside of that, we don't have a whole lot than that one instance. So, but here, Jesus gets baptized. So Jesus came from Nazareth in Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. So his cousin baptizes him. And as he's baptized, at that one time as he comes up, the Spirit comes upon him, okay, like a dove. And a voice from heaven says, "You are my son who I love. With you I am well pleased." And I think as men, we look for that. We need that. We need that connection point where we feel like we are loved and that someone is pleased with us. And it's got to be a man. It can't be a woman. Sorry. Just because your wife is, now it's good and you want your wife to do that, but still as a man, we're looking for a man to step up and show that. And typically it should be your father. But in this society, how many households don't have a father figure, or, how many boys are being raised by women, and nothing against women for doing that. But the reality is a woman can't raise a man and a man can't raise a woman in the same specific way that they need to be. Men need men, women need women. So, but interestingly enough with this story, Jesus comes out, and then he goes out for 40 days. He's tempted by Satan. He deals with other things, and he comes back, and that's when his ministry starts. That's when he starts proclaiming the good news. He starts healing people. Not up until that point. We don't see it up until that point. Jesus wants, the Father has said, I'm pleased with you. I give you, go. I give you, go. And the Holy Spirit is given to him, and it's now go proclaim the good news. Go talk about salvation. Go heal those that need it. That's where he gets his commission to go out and do something. Now, of course, we were given a commission to love our neighbors and to do things. That's the bottom line thing we're supposed to do. But at the same time, there's a desire inside each and every one of us for something slightly different. I know for me, I just have this desire to do something, and I'm not sure what it is yet. Hopefully it'll come soon. But for some people, I know the desire is really not to do anything great other than to enjoy life in their family, or this or that, or maybe it's an activity. And that's really what they were designed for. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. It's a good thing. If you find your place where you have comfort in a relationship with Christ and relationship with others, good. That's good. So, guys, I'm going to leave it with that. I said I'd do this for about 20 minutes today, and we're a little past that. But hopefully you guys got something out of today. I know I talked about a couple different things. But the bottom line is, as men, we need to step up, be intentional. We need to act like men again. Men need to be men. Ladies need to be ladies, and we need to work together to be great. There's no equality in it. It's togetherness to be great. And we need to stop hating. We need to stop with all the negative. We need to have more happiness in our lives. So those are the things we talked about today. And then taking a look, and even Jesus waited. Jesus had that moment where his Father said, I am pleased. So if you're a dad, or if you're a man who didn't have a dad around and you're looking for that, just remember, if you're walking with Christ and you're his brother, your Father is well pleased with you. And he's there to help you. And if you're walking with Christ and you have the Holy Spirit, there are many great things that you can do. Pretty much everything that Jesus did, except for the salvation part. That was kind of his alone. Not that anybody would want to take that on. Let's be honest. I'm glad I didn't have to go through it. Thank God, thank Jesus that he did it and I didn't have to, because I don't think I could have taken that. Point blank honest. And if you're a dad, you need to look at doing this for your son. And it's not when he's 30. It's every day. It's put the phone down. Stop watching TV. It's read a book with him. It's do something challenging. It's play a game. It's help him with his homework and pour into him and tell him, you're good. Son, you're doing a good job. They're not going to be perfect. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We make mistakes. Our kids are going to make mistakes, but you can't beat them or berate them because of that. You need to love on them just like God does for us. There's a love from him to us, even in our badness and even in our sinful guiltiness. There's still a love from him. There's still an action that was done for us. And he loves us. So go forward. It's Tuesday. Go out. Be intentional this week. Find a way to be intentional with others. Whether it's family members, whether it's friends, whether it's coworkers, but do something to be intentional. And here's a quick challenge for everybody. Find somebody, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, and find something that you can do for them without getting something in return. Ask them, is there something today that you need help with that I can help you with? And don't ask for anything in return. Maybe it's laundry. Maybe it's folding the laundry. Maybe it's, hey, I really need weeds pulled or the lawn mowed. I could really use some help with a car being washed. Or just, hey, can you take the kids for a little bit? Or maybe it's just nothing. Maybe it's a foot rub. Maybe it's, hey, you know what? I would just like to spend some time sitting on the couch and reading together. Let's put our phones away. Ask. You know, maybe it's a buddy that just needs to get away and go to a movie, and you can pop for the ticket and just hang out with them. Go get a cup of coffee. So I challenge you. Ask someone, what can I do for you today? Don't ask for anything in return. Just, that's the question. What can I do for you today? Is there something you need done today that I can do for you? And just leave it at that. Do it and go about your day. You want equality. You want love. You want respect. There you go. That's how you get it. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. All right, in truth, nobody hung out with me today. It was just me, the camera, the mic, and at least it's on YouTube. You guys can check it out. Hopefully you're watching it now. Don't forget to like and share. Got to put that in there. It's YouTube, right? Thanks, guys. See you guys Friday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be on Facebook there, and we're going to just chat about a little something going into the weekend. And then again, next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Today we did jump on a little early. Having a meeting I got to go to, so that's why this happened. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging out. See you later.